Howdy y'all, and welcome back for our final conclusion of a living tribute to Billy Kametz here of Fire Emblem Three Houses, available now on the Nintendo Switch only. Co-developed by Koei Tecmo Games, with the makers that brought you Samurai Warriors, Dynasty Warriors, Warriors Orochi, Ninja Gaiden, Blue Reflection, Atelier Games, Berserk, and the Band of the Hawk. So there you have it. So I'm a little trying to. Sorry, I should have pressed a button. So it's it just the things that goes to show you that how oh my it's still shocking news for me that how Billy Kametz passed away, and such a great voice actor, and also how do I during his, and also still young though. I mean, incredible. So the ones I'm going to be doing is Lorenz, Hilda, Manuela, Dorothea, and don't forget the character of the protagonist. That would be myself, y'all. So anyway, so let's get this going. So why not we go talk to Lorenz, and during the first two parts. And this is something about what he got interested the most with Lorenz. As a noble, and also drinking tea, and also something to do what's worth fighting for, and also with honor, love, truth, and justice. I mean, how do I say, what I step in is what I take as a noble to become the proper, adequate position. And that's how Billy Kametz pulled it off. Like, how to be a gentleman, like how to be representable as a resident, as a resident in the house, in royalty or something like that. So the thing is, like, I'm living inside a castle with the King and Queen of England. So there you have it.
Ah, that fragrance. Could it be? Ferdinand, I cannot help but notice the exquisite tea you're drinking.
Not many can appreciate it, let alone recognize it. I'm impressed.
Perhaps you would be so good as to indulge me with a cup?
By all means. Allow me to pour.
Ah, what a delightful aroma. When I close my eyes, I feel as though I've wandered into a rose garden.
Such a precise, poetic description. But please, drink up. No need to stand on ceremony.
How gracious of you. Very well. Flavor, fragrance, and hue, all in fine harmony. This is a most superior brew. And in a market saturated by pale imitation, no less, you did well to acquire such fine fare.
You are clearly quite passionate about tea. And more than just passionate. You know what it takes to brew a fine cup. To say nothing of your flawless etiquette and sterling attentiveness.
Certainly. Proper etiquette at tea time is one of the surest hallmarks of quality breeding. And the extent of one's attentiveness is quite often indicative of the depth of one's character. The ability of a person of fine stock to exhibit a rich quality of character is precisely what determines whether one is worthy to be called noble. And all of that can be seen in how one handles such a simple thing as a cup of tea.
Ah, marvelously put, Lawrence. I can tell you have given much thought to this subject. And if I may, I have always considered you to be the very model of noble comportment.
Oh, likewise, this has certainly been an extraordinarily meaningful cup of tea.
I wholeheartedly concur. Before we part ways, I would like to offer you some of these leaves.
Truly? Well, I'm flattered, but I cannot simply accept them without offering something in exchange. You simply must allow me to host you in turn, by way of recompense. We shall drink from House Gloucester's finest teacups and enjoy the loveliest of its cakes.
That sounds exquisite. I look forward to it.
You see how he did right there? It's like he did this in a way of like mannerism, grace, honorable nobility, and such. That's how he pulled it off. I mean, as you can imagine, for those of what you see in those, I mean, before, and not to mention from other Japanese anime, and plus on games that he's on from voice acting, and he puts into his voice like to throw it into the part, like, yeah. So, as we continue on, let's get a load of support conversation B, y'all.
That reminds me, Ferdinand. I wonder if a certain rumor has already reached your ears.
I suspect I know what you are referring to. A certain noble who caused a stir at one of the local taverns, correct? For someone of status to make such a scene, what a disgrace.
I thought just the same. A noble ought to hold himself to a higher standard. It is hardly appropriate to drink and mingle with a tavern full of commoners.
Oh, that is not quite what I meant. I do not object to a noble patronizing their local establishments. In fact, I would say such excursions have value.
Is that so? I would be very curious to hear what value you mean exactly. But allow me first to venture a guess. Is it that you suppose it is proper for a noble to bolster a town's wealth with his patronage? If that is your thinking, then I would counter that whatever one adds to a merchant's coffers seldom makes it to the pockets of the townsfolk. I think that if a noble wishes to use his resources to ease the burdens of the commoners, he ought to go about town and spend it more directly.
That is wonderfully insightful, Lawrence, albeit not what I had in mind. What I meant was this. We can benefit from crossing the threshold and learning more about regular folk. We scarcely understand the reality of their lives. In turn, they do not know about us. I have heard that some believe we have horns growing from our heads. It is an embarrassing and potentially perilous state of affairs.
You are quite right. In fact, that reminds me of something a boy once said to me when I visited a village on my family's territory. He actually asked me if I had a tail. Hilarious.
We all need a laugh now and then. As a man of status, I feel it is my calling to right the world's wrongs, but there is only so much I can do alone. Working in tandem, though, you and I could make tremendous accomplishments.
My sentiments exactly. Together we could achieve a great deal. Though the circumstances of birth may have placed one of us in the Empire and the other in the Alliance, we can still study and fight together.
Yes, precisely. Together, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. By the way, Lawrence, do you have a tail?
Oh, you know, Ric Flair would say, "Woo! That would make me jump, y'all. I love it. Woo!" So, here's another supporting conversation goes between with Billy Kametz and the voice actress Celeste Henderson. So yeah, she's from from the TV shows called Monster Town High, of course. So yeah, I'm familiar with those names. So this is actually my first time hearing doing a voice acting on a Japanese anime game, that as far as I know. So between on the conversations, you know, Billy Kametz voicing Ferdinand von Ayer and Celeste Henderson voicing Hilda von Goneril, even though she has I'm not going to say that out loud, but this is a living tribute to Billy Kametz, and I'm certain this, it starts off with part 1 on Support Conversation C, so part 1, it's like, how is that, how is this going to work?
It just never ends. Oh, Ferdinand?
Hilda, do you need something?
I just have a tiny favor to ask.
I apologize, but I must graciously decline.
You didn't even let me say what it was.
I can proffer a guess. Instead of relying on others, why not try doing something on your own? Nobles should not be lazy or idle. We should accomplish our goals through earnest effort.
Easy for you to say. You're the very model of a diligent noble. Always contemplating the noblest course of action, never stopping to take a break. Your chore today was repairing the weapons, right? There are so many weapons here, and yet you're already done. That's pretty impressive.
It was nothing. Anyone could have done the same.
I don't think so. I certainly couldn't.
I do not believe that to be true.
Look at me. I'm supposed to be organizing these library supplies, but I have no idea where to start.
What could be difficult about such a task? You simply line them up and count them.
There are too many. Well, maybe it doesn't seem difficult to you, but that's just because you're so clever.
Granted, there might be some creative approaches to completing the task.
Oh? Please, enlighten me.
I can point you in the right direction. To start, divide them up by size.
Right. I'm with you so far. And then what?
Now, put similar items together. That makes it easier to get a handle on the numbers.
I see. Then what?
Now that you have arranged everything, you can begin counting. See how easy it is?
Wow! You did that in no time. You really saved my neck there. Thanks, Ferdinand. Bye!
It was nothing. I suppose I ended up doing her work after all.
Not what you expected to be fooled by doing someone else's work, so she took advantage, of course, but that was an interesting conversation, and I like it! It's just, this goes to show you, you help someone, and they'll get away with it, just like Hilda would do! Woo! Part 2!
Wow, I am thirsty. I could really go for something to drink.
Hilda, there you are.
Hey, Ferdinand. Thanks for your help earlier.
I do not desire your gratitude. I have a bone to pick with you. At the library, you pawned your job off on me.
Actually, I never asked you to do the whole thing. You started teaching me how and got carried away. Meanwhile, I was just awestruck by your cleverness and generosity.
Ah, well. Hey, wait a moment. Your charms won't work this time. You were just using me.
Oh, that hurts my feelings. I really was awestruck. If I had to arrange all the library supplies on my own, I'd have been there past nightfall.
With a steady pace, you would have finished by twilight at the latest.
Oh no, I'm not competent enough, honestly. I don't even know how to make a cup of tea.
You're quite a defeatist, Hilda. Hold a moment. Did you just say you cannot make tea?
That's right. I can't touch things that get hot. I'm always scared of getting burned.
Trust me, it is not difficult. You just need to be cautious as you are pouring. I can teach you.
Really? Great! Please teach me, Ferdinand.
This is a crucial skill for nobles, Hilda. If nothing else, you must learn the art of tea brewing. Look here. You bring the water to a boil, and you put the leaves in here. Alright, that should be enough time steeping. Now we can drain the water, pour the tea, and enjoy.
That took longer than I expected. Well, thanks. Bottoms up.
You may have to steep it for more time or less, depending on the leaves. From now on, you can...
That really hit the spot. Thanks. I'm a slow learner, so I hope you'll teach me again sometime.
She fooled me again. That was the last time. I swear it.
it just goes to show you when you're a sucker for sore eyes, it never gets old. But I like that conversation between this and Hilda, and it was, I really do enjoy this. I mean, between that and Hilda, it's just like, yeah, that's what goes on with like, she takes advantage of you, dude, and you didn't see it coming. It's like, I'm this guy and I can do whatever I want. So, woo! So yeah, that's how it happened. Seeing how Billy Kametz reacted from when he voicing his Ferdinand von Ayer to do that interaction with Hilda von Goneril is absolutely priceless. It's like I'm gonna help do this for you. And like, wait a minute, I got tricked again. I got tricked by her. I'm not gonna fall for this, and no way I'm not gonna fall for her charms either. So you don't know how to make tea? Okay, I'm gonna show you tea. Like, wait a minute, you just tricked me again! Hey, get back here! Like, that's how he did it. Like being like, you get, once again, he got stumped. Again, stumped. He's stumped. Such a sucker. Oh my! But in a good way that the Billy Kametz would do is how he pulled this off. He works on it again and again, and then he feels like he's been fooled. He has to feel like he's actually really fooled by being tricked into Hilda's into Hilda's little, I'm not saying gestures. No, Hilda's very own personal, what is the word I'm looking for? Interests. That's why. So either that, and then she turns that interest into an objective, and that objective makes it into something to pass on. Like, she passed the hot potato, and that person takes the hot potato, and all of a sudden, there's your hot potato. I'm not touching, and that hot potato belongs to you because it was cold, and now that became the hot potato. And here comes support conversation B with that said hot potato.
Ferdinand, there you are.
Stay back, Hilda. I will no longer entertain your clever little requests. Your wiles will not work this time.
You shouldn't yell at a noble maiden. It's a no-no, etiquette-wise. By way of an apology, you may brew me some tea.
I am sorry to have offended you, but delightful as it sounds, I will not be brewing any tea at present. Besides, I taught you how to do it before. You should be able to do it on your own, so why don't you?
You did show me how to do it, but I can't do it as well as you.
And why not?
You selected just the right leaves, and you boiled them just right. You even considered the room temperature and humidity. Then, you set out just the right pot along with just the right cups. You immediately picked out a design that you knew I would like. When you poured, the temperature, the timing, and the technique were all impeccable.
You seem to know an awful lot about tea for someone who cannot even pour it.
Oh, no, not really. Maybe I picked up a couple things from watching you. Even the sound of the liquid pouring into the cups was like music. Taken as a whole, it was an almost spiritual experience. A symphony for the senses.
I was just making tea in the traditional fashion.
Oh, I'm so flustered I'm not getting my point across. I'm trying to say that your tea is like love. You're devoted to bringing happiness to those who drink it. I could taste that from the first drop.
Well, when serving another, one must put in a little bit of love. But I must say, you surprise me. Not many are so attentive to the finer points of tea. I made quite the impression on you. Perhaps I ought to pour you another cup.
Really? Oh, thank you, Ferdinand.
I shall find us a suitable brew. Wait here a moment.
Oh, Ferdinand. So simple, and yet so kind.
Well, at least he's not being taken advantage when he found out being passed on that hot potato, y'all. So, and this is on part 2 where we met 5 years later. So it's just you know the. Finally, I mean that's how we got into that. But when he finally not taking your interesting on your how do I say, I'm not gonna be a part of your little traps that I'm setting being taken advantage of. So no way, no how. So yeah, that's what happened. Because it's like, you can't see me. My time is now because I'm taking someone else's advantage. So you can't see me. So. This supporting conversation is a little bit different. Hopefully this will not be a part of the passing of the hot potato. Will it or won't it is what you're going to find out. A living tribute to Billy Kametz, and he's actually great on voice acting on this game, to be honest.
Oh dear, I'm thirsty again. If only I had a drink.
I have some tea. You are welcome to drink some.
Oh dear, I forgot to get my...
I found it. Here it is.
Oh dear, I didn't return my library book.
I returned your book a little while ago.
Oh, thank you. Ferdinand, how did you get so good at doing things for me? It's like you know what I need before I do.
I have lots of practice fielding your requests. All I need to do is think for a bit, and I know what you need. I can practically read your mind.
Oh, you know what it's like in here, huh? Okay, tell me what I'm thinking about right now.
You want a snack.
Sorry, nice try. Actually, I was thinking... I've become quite fond of you.
I suppose that is inevitable. I am rather fond of you as well. I find your laziness endearing.
Hey, the fond thing was just a joke. Really. I was thinking about tea. Kinda thirsty.
I admire you, Hilda.
You what?
I said I admire you. You are gifted and accomplished. I used to underestimate you.
I said I was kidding, didn't I? This is all a bit...
You feigned sloth to obscure the considerable breadth and depth of your talents. Such delicate discretion, such noble prudence. If only I could emulate it.
I've never been called prudent before, but I like hearing you say it. Thank you. You're good at giving compliments. In return for all your help, I promise that I'll keep being prudent.
I appreciate that. Shall we go?
Huh? Go where?
I thought you wanted some tea. The dining hall is the place for that.
Oh, Ferdinand, you're too kind.
Well, this is a turnaround of events. Instead of having that hot potato, he just accepted Hilda the way she is. And like, yes, and finally almost become a mind reader like a Jedi Knight. So yes, the Force is strong with this one on Ferdinand von Aegir. Almost. So it's a Jedi. A Jedi! Woo! Yes! I wonder what he can do as a Jedi with Professor Manuela. So yeah, a Jedi! So the parts, the support C, B, and A. Of course, I know who the voice actress is who voices Professor Manuela. Hey, it's Ash Ketchum from Pokemon! Or should I say Veronica Taylor? Yeah, so I know who that voice actress is. She's also from Fire Emblem Heroes, and also in this game, and also from that the Pokemon shows. Like, wow, that's a long time. I watched it in the '90s and perhaps in the early 2000s. So that's all I remember. But I haven't seen the new ones. No, I kind of watched one of the movies. So yeah. By the way, I saw Hello, Charles TGD. Charles the Green Dragon, which I miss him so much. So support A for the conversation between Billy Kametz as Ferdinand von Ayer and Veronica Taylor voices Professor Manuela. So here you go. The conversation actually sounds like, okay, how'll this work? Well, actually, you might want to listen to this.
My princess is lovely. My princess is fair. She sings like cicadas in midsummer's air.
Cicadas? Those noisy little bugs that swarm about, endlessly mingling with one another?
Oh, good point. I will revise. My princess is lovely. My princess is fair. She sings like a swallow in midsummer's air.
Migrating birds. Never sticking around for long. Always off to find love somewhere else.
Oh, no, what I meant was,
Oh, Ferdinand, you're just not yourself today. You don't seem focused. Your poetry lacks poetry. Perhaps a break is in order.
I would not dream of stopping now. This is my golden opportunity.
Pardon me?
We are finally alone. Just the two of us.
Why, yes, we are, aren't we?
You see, Manuela, I have long admired you.
Is that a fact?
I saw you perform countless times while you were with the opera company.
Oh, I see. So what did you think?
The figure you cut, that heartbreaking voice, I was mesmerized. That is why I am tongue-tied. I am nervous about speaking to you alone, after idolizing you for so long.
There's no need to be nervous, Ferdinand. That songstress you recall is long gone. I get nervous too, you know. But I want you to feel relaxed around me. Understood?
Yes, yes, I promise to try.
You're really full of surprises, you know that? I assumed you'd be more interested in combat than the arts. Come and chat sometime? I'd love to hear more about how my performances mesmerized you.
Mesmerized by Professor Manuela. So yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, like his heart flutters to be mesmerized by seeing poetry. But yeah, I'm not saying word life is the place of thugonomics, because this place is no electronics. I get the feeling that what you like to see, because this is support conversation letter B, yo.
Let's see. Has to be here somewhere.
Oh, my princess! Pray tell, are you seeking a book?
Ferdinand, you should probably settle down a little with the princess talk. Just speak to me normally. My princess days are long gone.
I could not disagree more. To me, you will always be that dazzling songstress, that veritable princess of the opera. From ages 5 to 11, I never missed a single one of your performances. Seeing you on stage was like glimpsing heaven. I was overcome with bliss.
You're going a little overboard, and I think I may have something in my eye.
An elegant coalescence of beautiful song and frenetic swordplay. That was the most memorable aspect for me. On stage, weapon in hand, letting your ballads soar to the heavens. Honestly, the first time I held a sword, It was not to train. I was trying to do your sword dance.
I inspired your love of weaponry? How flattering.
Correct. It is all thanks to you.
Oh, come now. Although I'm honored if my stage presence had any such influence on your life.
The honor is all mine. You blessed me by returning to my life. No matter where I go, or who I end up marrying, my childhood memory of you is inscribed in the deepest depths of my heart. Is something the matter?
Oh, nothing. I just feel a little empty inside now.
Something inspiring is what it seems to be like when he feel like I got interested in the love of the seeing her sing and doing her sword dance and all that. It ignites me like a fire, like a storm that wants to rain some lightning and thunder with a lot of rain, and it's just the way he said how Billy Kametz does this is just absolutely amazing, y'all. And it's the thing what he does for, it's just like I want to feel like I'm feeling passionate about this, and what you reinvigorated me is a part of that. So the way how Billy Kametz pulled it off is with Professor Manuela is just absolutely inspiring from what he does. It's like I fell in love with this ever since I wanted to do this. So because of that, I feel like I can do this swordplay before I ever do some fencing as training, though. So there you have it.
How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land aflame, when the sacred blade it split the sky until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance, will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge, will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall.
Oh, Ferdinand, that song.
Manuela, hello. What a treat. It is most rare to see you at the training grounds. I have never had the honor of sparring with a princess. Why not grab a sword?
Ferdinand, that's called changing the subject. That song you were singing, is it the one you said made such an impression on you?
So you heard me. I hope it was not too grating on your ears.
You've nothing at all to be embarrassed about. I'm pleased if one of my songs stayed with you like that. Oh, it really takes me back. I remember the big battle in the first act. How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land aflame, when the sacred blade it split the sky, until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance, will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge, will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall. Wow. My heyday is behind me. That's for sure.
No, that was wonderful. Exactly the voice I recall from my childhood. To have witnessed this performance in such an intimate setting, I am deeply moved. I cannot stop trembling. I feel as though I am going to cry. You have shaken me to my very core.
All right, Ferdinand, relax. I can see that it's affected you deeply.
You made a little boy's cherished dream come true. Perhaps you can help realize one more.
Another one? And what would that be?
Would you do the sword dance with me? The one that accompanied the song? It had a part for a male performer, if I recall. I would be truly honored.
I'm sure I can't do it as well now as I could then, but you're just so adorably you. I can't resist.
Thank you so much. That has long been a dream of mine, and you made it a reality.
I gotta gotta say, Ferdinand, you're full of surprises. It was like dancing with a pro. Perfect timing, always in step.
All thanks to you. You inspired me.
Or perhaps it was you who inspired me.
Now that is how you feast your eyes! If you go back from what I said before about when he did that Aladdin the musical thing, so that kind of took over from what he did besides the voice acting. He was singing, so a little bit of momentum of that background from what he did there. So yeah, it's really interesting that what he actually displayed right in front of your eyes and ears. So feast your eyes on the singing with the sword dance. It was incredible, and I felt it, and it was absolutely a must. So let's see, why not we go a little talk with Dorothea? So yes, I know who the voice actress is. It's Allegra Clark. So and I know who she is. So this is between three conversations for Billy Kametz, who voices Ferdinand von Aegir, and Allegra Clark voices as Dorothea. So it's I think this starts off like from one part to the other. It starts like, okay, how come you are like the little busy bee, but you still don't know what it means? And then all of a sudden, you should have known better from when you looked at me in the first place. But let's say, how does that work? Simple. You might find this hard to believe, but this is how Billy Kametz tried to pull this off in a conversation with Dorothea when he voices as Ferdinand von Aegir, y'all. Support conversation C.
Ah, Dorothea. The dining hall seems so much brighter with you here.
30. I must say, you are quite adept with flattery. Please, give me some more.
Flattery? No, I was not... There you go with that attitude again. Why do you reserve such cold treatment for me and me alone? Do you hate me, Dorothea? Or have you some other reason to avoid my company?
I underestimated you. I assumed your noble upbringing had dulled your perception. But you got it right on your first try. I hate you.
Huh, I was right. Might I ask why you find me so despicable? I can scarcely guess.
Don't waste another minute thinking about it.
That will not do. I do not think you would hate a person for no reason.
Perhaps. How's this? If you can guess why, I'll let you know if you're right. The brains of us common folk are so simple, it should be pretty easy for a big shot noble to sort out.
Very well. I cannot walk away from a challenge. I have no choice but to chance a guess. You are always making fun, calling me a big shot and so forth. Perhaps you think all nobles are... No, it cannot be that simple.
Oh? What can't be that simple?
Please, will you not give me a clue?
Well, let me see. A good clue? I know. It's because you're like a bee. That ought to be enough of a clue. So long, 30.
A bee? I haven't the slightest. Perhaps because I am such a diligent worker?
You see how that conversation turned out? I mean, it's like he's being hated with no reason, but he wants to find out what is the reason that he got being hated for by Dorothea in the first place. That is like, why do you hate me so much? What have I ever done wrong? Is it because I'm pretty sure that there has to be a reason for why you hate me, or there can't be no reason. There has to be one, though. so I can scarcely guess. So he asked for Dorothea to give him a clue to help him out. So all she said is, "You are like a bee." So a diligent worker is like a diligent bee worker. But however, on this conversation, from what is happened during that voice acting of recording, is where it's going to take place next. So let's say build up like a little bit of, let's say, baking perhaps, and then there will be something else.
Ah, you have arrived at just the right time. Care for one of these handmade treats?
My goodness, Ferdy. When did you become such a talented confectioner?
Oh, Dorothea, I am hardly an expert.
Nevertheless, you have managed to make some tasty-looking treats.
Well, it is the first time I have tried my hand at it. Honestly, there were several unsuccessful attempts preceding this batch. I made these pastries to solve that riddle you gave me. The reason you despise me.
Oh?
You said I was like a bee. The bee is a dutiful worker, just as I am. But the bee inherits a capacious home, with a wealth of honey. Similarly, I inherited my fortune. I did not receive it as a reward for my labor. I surmised that perhaps you'd feel differently about me if I earned something all on my own. That was my plan, to emulate your transformation from desperate pauper to successful songstress.
All on your own? Did you renounce your nobility? Give away your riches?
No, I made these. I obtained all the ingredients on my own, without anyone's help.
You mean, you got the sugar and the flour?
Yes. To earn the flour, I worked in the fields. To earn the sugar, I carried a merchant's wares.
Who did the cooking? You?
Naturally. I took on some extra chores in exchange for use of the kitchen at night.
I have to admit, that's impressive. Hey, it looks like you had a bit of an accident. Is your hand okay?
I burned myself a little while I was baking. Nothing to worry about.
Nonsense. That burn will scar you, know. Come on, let's get you to the infirmary.
Wait, Dorothea! You have yet to try my treats.
You should be fine now, Ferdy. Big shot nobles have to treat their bodies with care just like the rest of us.
There you go again. Noble this, noble that. Though you did say it with less disdain than usual.
Nothing gets past you. As it were, I may have reconsidered you a little.
You have reconsidered me? Finally! Just as I had hoped, we are becoming friends. Now then, I propose that we...
I only said I reconsidered a little. And you still haven't figured out why I said you're like a bee. Which is funny, because you look like a bee right now. Bye!
So, I am still a bee. A completely mystified bee.
So he had all figured it out. Somehow he thought he found the right answers, but still haven't complete the whole puzzle. So what was he trying to do? Of course, Dorothea gave that clue away. Why was is still reconsidered a little, and still like a noble this, noble that. So I'm guessing this takes a bit of a dramatic turn to find out why that Dorothea despised Ferdinand in the first place, but it's simple. To be honest, the way how they put in a dramatic scene is absolutely, completely priceless. So the way how Billy Kametz pulled this off is just amazing. So you might want to see this for yourself before this goes. So I present you with this.
Ah, Dorothea. I am surprised to find you here. I did not think you were all that religious.
There's a lot you don't know, Ferdy. But you're right. I I'd hardly call myself devout. After all, it was thanks to the goddess and her noble regime that I suffered so much as a child.
You must be quite brave to speak so coarsely in this hallowed place. But what do you mean about suffering as a child?
Do I really have to tell you? Oh, forget it. I'm sure you already know that I'm an orphan. I grew up in the alleys of Enbar, begging for coins, eating scraps, drinking from drains.
I see. I remember seeing street children around the city.
I could have died. Then the right person overheard me singing. And suddenly I was in the opera. I was a songstress. And my goodness, did the nobles like me. The people who used to spit on me and call me an urchin, they praised my voice and my beauty. A nobleman who once kicked me gave me the most gorgeous shoes. I almost asked if it was a joke.
So that is why you despise the nobility. But why do you think I am the same as them? Do you really believe that is the kind of man I am? You think I would ever treat people differently based on appearances? There is nothing noble about it.
Oh, really? You're something different? That's not how I remember things. It was the very day that I was discovered. I was in high spirits. Nothing was wrong in the world. I secretly bathed in one of the town's fountains, hoping to wash off some of the dirt from the streets. I sang the same song the opera composer overheard earlier that day. And that's when you appeared.
Me? No, it could not have been.
Don't play dumb. You glared at me, the same look I'd gotten from every other noble, then you ran off. When we met at the academy, you were a different person. All smiles and friendly words. You were like a bee, Ferdinand. A bee attracted to a flower in full bloom.
So it was you then, singing that song. Dorothea, please listen. This is a misunderstanding. When I saw you, I could not take my eyes off you. I was hypnotized. Your beautiful voice, your elegant face, droplets of water on your skin that glittered in the sun. I thought you were a water nymph.
Stop it, don't lie to me.
No, it is true. I was only a child. The vision overwhelmed me. That is why I ran. I plucked up the courage to return, but no one was there. I thought perhaps it was a dream.
Maybe I can believe you. I've wanted to, ever since the day you made me those treats. I thought then that maybe you weren't like the others, but there's a lot I have to let go of, Ferdy.
Of course. I am glad we had this conversation. You know, I do not mind you thinking of me as a bee. Life as a simple drone, circling a queen, it actually sounds quite wonderful.
Don't drones keep the queen safe from other bugs? I like the sound of that.
Now, you see how that worked out? I mean, it's like, finally he understands. Like, he's not like others. I mean, he just quite doesn't realize what happened. Then he remembers something back from his childhood, and that's how it goes. So it's absolutely amazing. So that just goes to show you that how Billy Kametz pulled this off is incredibly amazing. And I'm gonna here's from what I've heard about Billy Kametz. So back in April, Kametz revealed he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. So best known for his work as a voice actor. So died on Thursday, June 9th, after battling colon cancer, and he was 35. So yeah, the news of his death was shared on his GoFundMe page, which was set up shortly after he shared his diagnosis in April. The page's organizer, his event agent, Ginny McManus, shared the tragic news and an update on the page along with the actor's obituary and kind words directed toward his supporters. Anyone who has met Billy Kametz will tell you he is one of the warmest, kindest, most sincere human beings on this earth, the page said. Quick to laugh with his infectious smile, he brings joy to everyone around him. Oh yeah, definitely. Whether that is a room full of friends and family, gracious fans at conventions, or most recently the nurses and doctors who attend to him in the hospital. Most importantly, and quote, continues on, most importantly, I hope you know how I appreciate you all were and how much strength you provided. Billy and I would regularly share thoughts of disbelief and joy at the outpouring of generosity you all gave him, so that the GoFundMe update read, know that he left this world peacefully, knowing how loved he is and will always be. I miss my friend terribly, but it comforts me that his legacy will continue with his work and all of the fans who are even now discovering what an extraordinary man he was. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. I know Kametz was born on that year of so my goodness. Was born in Pennsylvania, to be honest. The city of Lancaster. March 22nd, 1987. He had a lifelong dream of being an actor since he was a child, and got his big break when he joined the entertainment staff on the Disney Cruise Line before moving to California 5 years ago when he offered the role of Aladdin in Disney's Aladdin: A Musical Spectacular. In recent years, Kametz was well known for his work as a voice actor for video games and anime characters, including the characters like Yosuke Higashikata in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Ren in Pokemon Journeys, and Shigeru Aoba in Neon Genesis Evangelion. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong, forgive me. He also won the Best English Voice Acting Performance at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards for his work voicing Naofumi Iwatani in The Rising of the Shield Hero. Beyond his roles and work as an actor, Kametz obituary noted that he was perhaps best known for his sincerity and loving personality. And here's the quote. His infectious personality and smile always lit up a room with so much joy and happiness. His obituary read, Billy always left a positive impression on anyone he came in contact with. His love for his family, friends, and girlfriend was always most important to him, and that love will carry on forever. So, on April 26, Kametz posted a video on his social media sharing that he had been diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. At the time, he said that he was doing okay, quote, doing okay, end quote, and that he had a supportive team of doctors and specialists behind him. He said that he had already started chemotherapy treatments and was getting radiation done on various areas of his spine. So, yeah, it was so he was like he's a survivor, a cancer survivor, to be honest, and I know how that feels. It's this is what Billy Kametz said before his passing. This is what he said. He quotes, "It sucks. It's just a freak of nature thing that happened that I just got to deal with now, and we're going to do it." End quote. Kametz said, later adding, and he quote this, "I'm staying really positive, and that's the biggest reason that I've wanted to make this video. It's just to let you know that I have so much support, so much positivity surrounding me. I just want to let you guys know that I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop fighting, and I'm going to get through this." I'm sorry, I'm kind of a little teary-eyed, and According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, colorectal cancer is the third most common cancer diagnosis in the U.S. and in the third leading cause of cancer deaths in American men and women combined. So, some of the most common symptoms of colon cancer include unintended weight loss, weakness and fatigue, blood in the stool, and abdominal pain and cramping. The disease is beatable in 90% of cases that are detected early, according to Stand Up to Cancer. So yeah, many people think of colorectal cancer, if I said that correctly, I'm not so sure, yes or no, as an older person's disease, but an alarming spike in the number of younger Americans being diagnosed is promptly calls to start screening earlier. So tributes poured out across social media following the news of Kametz's death. And here's something that would... for what happened. And there's the last and final paragraph sentence. It's just, quote, "You were one of the best of us. Another light gone too soon," one person wrote on Facebook. "Everything about you made me smile. Knowing you were gone too soon brings only tears. I am grateful you are no longer suffering. No, you are deeply missed here on Earth, though. We love you, Billy, always and forever." So, that's how it happened. I thought it passed away on June 11th to 12th, but he passed away on June 9th. All I have left is his autograph, but it is not how he died. No. It is how he lived. It is how he lived through the... I know he's a survivor. Just because you say he just passed away by dying of colon cancer doesn't mean he did that. No. It is not how he died. It is how he lived. How he lived through it. And I have his autograph right in my hands, and he... It's like, why must those who die young? I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know. I know what it feels like to survive through cancer, how to get past through cancer. Yes, and I'm a cancer survivor, thanks. But what his show inspired me that he has to put through, and everything he on it is how he put up in a positive way. He has to go through the passing through the barriers, and he did that. That's how he did it. This is how he is able to pull it off. That is how he is able to make this. And I think that actually really inspired me from what he go through. He's always put an infectious smile, and he has a great and wonderful personality. Yes, not everyone is perfect, but what he did, I mean, he put everything out to make people happy. He didn't thought for himself. He wanted to make people happy from his voice acting, from what he did, and like this and that. And I would say he deserves a gold medal for this. He would deserve a WWE World Heavyweight Championship for voice acting, in my book. Definitely, or the NXT Championship for voice acting. So, for that matter, he definitely deserves the WWE title belt. So these, I'm going to leave you from three last conversations between the protagonist and also Billy Kametz's voice acting, who voices Ferdinand von Aegir in this game. So here we go. We'll go from part 1 to part 2. So this is support conversation. See y'all, and you should hear it and watch.
Hello, Professor. May I speak with you? I was just wondering, what do you think of Edelgard? You seem to hold her in high esteem.
Well, she's a good student.
She is certainly talented. No doubt about that. But I wonder, what is your opinion of me? I am quite talented too, am I not? Be honest. Do not hold back. Pretend that I am just a regular person, not the scion of a noble house.
I think you two are evenly matched.
Evenly matched? Me? With her? I was just being modest before. Honestly, I have always prided myself on being superior to Edelgard. But evidently that is not your perspective.
He's smart.
I suppose there is only one thing to do. I must demonstrate my excellence.
I can't stop you.
Precisely. You cannot stop me. I will prove that you have drastically underestimated me. You think I could ignore such a slight upon my honor? Not likely. Come, Professor.
Okay then. Not what I had in mind though. But if you insist, be my guest.
We will begin with battle. Edelgard's skills in combat are no match for mine. I heard that just the other day, she defeated a demonic beast without assistance. Well, anything Edelgard can do, I can do better. And in half the time. Professor, you can be my eyewitness and timekeeper. Here we go! 2 at once? That's... well, it will be fine. I can't do it. It seems you have saved my life. Thank you, Professor.
Anytime, Ferdinand. Just give me a holler when you like to call on my help. It's just a matter of time that you need to learn how to things that sometimes you can't do this alone. Perhaps you might need help. For me, for example, it's always possible to ask for help. So yeah, for this, that's how it goes. Here's part B.
Take that!
What's up?
Oh, you know, there is always something. It never ends. Lately, I have been feeling uneasy, impatient. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him, but she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. She put my father under house arrest. She stripped House Aegir of its power. Rather than accepting a role as her puppet, I left. Now I fight to topple the Empire. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing.
That's not true.
But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Ire, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever.
It's the journey, not the destination.
I appreciate that, but it is not enough to persuade me. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor?
Yes?
Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
It will do. I will continue watching over. So, this another part, which is the last and final conversation A. So I would like to do with the other conversations with Hubert and Edelgard when Ferdinand would like this and that. I mean, that would work. Not to mention, but there will hopefully in the near future. So that will be like another living tribute to somewhere in the new time by that time. But for now, this is what I have as far as I can tell. So anyways, this is the last one, and here you go.
What an interesting way of looking at life. Ah, it is you. Just at the right time.
You're working late.
Oh, is it nighttime already? I must have gotten carried away. There is something I wanted to discuss. Something about you. I am starting to believe that you are a true hero. You hold the lost crest, you wield the sword of the Creator, and you lead everyone in battle against great enemies. Not only that, but you are a strategist. You stand alongside rulers, supporting them, advising them. You do not seem particularly ambitious, and yet you accomplish so much.
Well, that's high praise.
I am not exaggerating. Everything I said is true. I have been reading about the history of Fargus, you know. The kingdom's founder, Lug, the king of lions, had 2 advisors. One of them was Pan, the undesiring strategist. According to historical records, Pan wanted nothing for himself. He devoted himself entirely to Lug. He had tremendous power, but he never seemed concerned about his legacy. So in the old chronicles, there is hardly any mention of Pan's deeds. All that we know is that he helped Lug, his friend and leader.
To think someone could be so virtuous.
It is not surprising that you have never heard of him. I did not even know his name until recently. But when I watch how you conduct yourself, I feel that I am seeing the unknown deeds of Pan. It is only a thought, of course, but it makes me feel rather happy. Even if it is not in the pages of a history book, a life can be full of achievement. I know that I will never prevail over Edelgard, even if I defeat her on the battlefield. I am what I am. Like you and this undesiring strategist. I will do what I am called to do, even if no mark of me remains in the history books.
Why, thanks, Ferdinand. So there you have it. The Latin. This is like what I have from what I got so far, that I don't care what anybody says about I want to remember from that I came to the first time that I met Billy Kametz. He is a great, fun and loving personality. He is. I mean, he is just that good. There will never be another Billy Kametz. There will never be another like Billy Kametz. And if you're asking yourself, will be another like Billy Kametz? It's not possible. It's not possible, to be honest. There will always be one Billy Kametz, and that is himself. Great voice actor. He deserves a title as a WWE title belt for a World Heavyweight Champion of voice acting. And he does deserve one, to be honest, in my book. Because for what is worth, I'm glad I met him. I'm glad I got his autograph. I'll remember from what I met him back in an anime convention center. It is just absolutely incredible, and there's nothing that can take that away from me. Not even anyone's moments that can take anyone away from them either. If you have met Billy Kametz, or if you heard his voice acting on any of the Japanese anime shows, or in games, or in the commercials, or what, then there you have it. He's just that good. I mean, he is great on voice acting of his own right, and very gifted. It's like practice makes perfect. When you do your own method voice acting, he does that, and guess what? We're leads to him. He did that. He did this very well, and that goes to show you, if anybody can do, if Billy Kametz can do it, then so can you. So can you. Whether you're a YouTuber, just starting your own path of your own method voice acting, it just goes to show you. Just never give up. And this is how Billy Kametz does. He never gave up. Never gave way from the point of view that when things go bad, he always put a smile on his face and do the positive things. Kind of reminds you of like All Might from My Hero Academia. Always put a smile on his face because of that, and he kept on going, and that is a great and living tribute to Billy Kametz. I thank you guys for watching this video, and tell me, what do you guys absolutely think of Billy Kametz? Please write down what do you actually remember, not how he died. It is how he lived. I would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section below the video, and just please. If whoever dislikes a video for any such things, you're not a fan of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. For those who dislike a video is absolutely secretly a hater for no reason, including to all of us who hate all of us by one such person or more and all. They have no shame, no respect of of an entire channel whatsoever, because we do our better. Billy Kametz does his better than best. Because he wants to do better, and he wants to make people happy. Just like I want to make people happy to get to know everyone better, and that's how why I want to make people happy. Thank you so much. So as your friendly neighborhood superhero who likes to take chances, making mistakes and getting messy, who likes peanut butter and chocolate and or breakfast for dinner, celebrating our 5-year anniversary of this entire channel of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance, and a living tribute to Billy Kametz. Great voice actor and great personality he has. Always heartwarming. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember to fight with honor, love, truth, and justice. And hopefully I'll see you guys in another video in the near future. So thank you guys for watching. Rest in peace, Billy Kametz, for you will always be a great voice actor forever. You may be gone, but you will never be forgotten. Thank you guys for watching. See ya. And take care now. Until next time.